wanted to share my thoughts about how to pass the California real estate license. First of all, this is just an informational video. I'm not a real estate trainer or coach. What makes me qualified is I've been a licensed real estate agent since 2006, been practicing full time. I've also recently got my broker's license. I have a bachelor's in history, master's in education, and I used to teach high school social studies and coach high school basketball. With regards to the real estate exam, a lot of people think that they can just do a 1 day crash course. Maybe it may not work for you, but again, this is just informational. I would highly recommend that you check with the California Bureau of Real Estate for the requirements and for changes in test sites, test procedures, and requirements. But to get your license, you need to complete a minimum of 3 courses. I believe the first one is principles, real estate principles, then real estate practices, real estate practice, excuse me, and then a third course, which is an elective. There's a lot of great companies out there that provide that are CalBRE certified or at least approved by the CalBRE that can provide you with the preparation you need. I will name a couple that I used in the past. There's a company out of, I think, Canoga Park called California Brokers Institute. There's another one I used recently to prepare for my broker exam, was First Tuesday. And you can do it online, you can do the comfort of your own home, and then you can do it at your own pace. So once you get your qualifications, the required courses, you also need to be at least 18 years old. You need to submit an application to the CalBRE, also live scan to do a complete set of that, and then take the test once it's assigned. The test for the real estate license, not the broker exam, I believe, and don't quote me on that, it's a 3.5 hour test and 150 questions, and you need to get at least 70% correct on the real estate salesperson exam in order to pass. On the real estate broker exam, it's a 5-hour test, 2.5 hours in the morning, 100 questions, and then 2.5 hours in the afternoon, another 100 questions. For a total of 200 questions, you need a 75% pass, and it's 150 correct out of 200 to get your broker's license, but that's a different qualification. I did do a video on how to pass the real estate broker's exam. Once you pass your certified or qualified courses, then you want to start preparing for the test. There's some great online prep courses out there. The one I use and highly recommend is the Real Estate Center John Henderson. Has some great practice tests, some great resources, some great audios. Now, the way I studied for the test is you want to really break down, take a look at how much time you have between the time you signed up for the test and how much time you actually have in your daily schedule to study. I'd put at least an hour to an hour and a half to 2 hours a day studying. And in my case, I actually did more than that. There were days I put 4 hours a day, even working full-time studying and listening to audios. And if you're running out of time or you really want to break that down, spend half your time on taking practice tests. The other half of the time spend on preparation and studying the material. Spend a lot of your time on practice and mandated disclosures, which that's the heavy bulk of the test. There's some good online digital, they call them, I guess, 3x5 type of cards, and you may or may not want to use those. I use actual 3x5 cards on my first real estate test when I took back in 2006. When I took my broker's test, I used the online version, and it helped make understanding terms and vocabulary a lot easier. You need to know the vocabulary, you need to know the terms, and you need to simulate an actual test at least one time. Sit down through the whole time and go through it. What I did when I got to the test site, again, they don't let you bring anything other than the letter that they give you that shows that you're scheduled for the exam date, your driver's license, and the key to a locker which they issue you. That's it. Put everything in the car, put everything away so they don't disqualify you. They don't even let you talk while you're standing in line waiting to get in. Once you get in, and you sit down. It's you and the computer. They give you a computer. It's a digital test, and make sure you read the questions thoroughly. I went through the following process. I read. My goal was the first time around, answer every question I know within a minute or less without guessing. Read the entire question, read all four answers, and see if you can answer all the question in a minute or less. The ones that you don't know, skip and go on. Then come back once you're done and go through the questions that you left blank. Now, the good news about the BRE and their test, it's electronic. So when you skip a question, you'll see on the left-hand side that you skipped a question, and it's either going to go white or red. I can't remember. On the right-hand top side of the computer, the clock will be running, showing how much time you have remaining to take the test. They also give you one of those whiteboards for scratch paper. That's your version of scratch paper. And they give you a dry erase marker and a calculator, and they give you a mouse. You need to turn in the mouse when you take a break, if you do, or when you finish with the exam. But going back to taking the test, do all the questions that you can do in a minute or less. Leave the ones, including any potential math that you might have, till the end. Control the test. Be in a position where you're controlling the questions and your destiny. It's you and the test. Then come back and do the ones that you left blank. And if at that point you still don't know some of these questions, then try to make some educated guesses. Try to eliminate. Then if there are any math questions, then and only then I would do the math questions. Now, my understanding, and again, it might vary, check with the different real estate prep courses that you're using, check with the CalBRE, but my understanding, and again, talking to other people who have taken the exams, the salesperson, and also talking to other people who have taken the broker exam, and also my personal exam, that normally there are 0 to 4 math questions on the test. Now, again, that might change on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, so check on that. And but again, that was my experience. On my personal broker's test, there were no math questions. On my real estate exam years ago, there were math questions. So again, spend your time where you feel you need to spend most in preparation. Then, and only then, I highly recommend you do the following. Make sure you go through the test before you click submit or done, and read the entire test through to make sure you do one of the following 3 things. Number 1, check for perceptual error, meaning, you're looking for things that you might have misread the questions. You might have misread the question that says all of the following except, or which of the following is not. So make sure you understand the question and you do not misinterpreting the question. Then you're looking for a second thing. You're looking for clerical errors. For example, you might have clicked on answer B, but you intended to click on answer C. Then if you do have any math or any calculations, make sure you go through the arithmetic or the calculations and make sure you do not calculate anything too quickly or incorrectly. Once you've done that, submit your test. When you walk out on the digital exam, they'll give you a piece of paper, which will be folded. They'll tell you not to open it. They'll tell you to open it once you leave the building. Once you leave the building, you open it, and it either says, congratulations, you passed the real estate salesperson or broker test, whichever test you took. If you don't pass it, my understanding is they're going to give you a score and which areas you are deficient at. Now, again, the key is practice. I don't believe that cramming works. I think you need to chunk it. I think you need to take your time and really break down the process and interact with the material. And there's some really good online videos. There's a guy on YouTube called Prep Agent and has really easy to understand videos that would help you pass or prepare at least for the real estate broker's test or real estate salesperson test. If you have any questions or like to reach out to me, you can call me or text me at 818-687-6676, 818-687-6676. Happy holidays. I hope this helps.